It's a bit past 7 a.m. and I get the billables going right away, and I try to work for that first hour of the day just to try to get something logged sooner rather than later. I sometimes use this part of the day to do other things, mainly with the YouTube channel or other sort of creative efforts, but today I just went ahead and started billing. All while wearing my super fresh blue light blocking glasses, which you can get by using my affiliate link in the description below.
A, B, C.
But anyways, after that, around 8:15 a.m., I went ahead and did my morning jog that I usually do before I eat my breakfast, and I usually watch some YouTube videos over breakfast. Today, I was watching some Nomad Capitalist. After that, I do my daily routine of either 100 push-ups or 100 sit-ups. Today it was push-ups, before I brush my teeth and shave, all while listening to some more YouTube, and by now I was listening to Tick History. Good channel. After washing up, I do the very bold move of parting my hair to the side. I know, a very adventurous haircut.
Daring today, aren't we?
And by then it was time to leave. Okay, it's about 9:45-ish, a little bit later than I would have liked to leave. Walking down this gorgeous alley, heading off to the Red Line, and then I'll head on downtown so I can actually get to work in the office. For those of you who don't know, the Red Line is probably the single worst smelling train in Chicago. The more you know. I pay my couple dollars to then walk up to the platform and then wait for the train, before I then enter a car which had some guy smoking in it, so I then proceeded to the next car at the next stop. I sit down and the train ride is something like 35 minutes, so I try to get some work done when I can. But then about 1 or 2 stops later, a fine fellow on the train starts lighting one up.
Another one.
So that's 2 cars in a row that have had people smoking on it, so I head on to the next one, before I enter yet a 3rd car which has another guy smoking in it.
Another one.
But thankfully it was near the stop where I could switch to the brown line, so I bailed out of that train and said goodbye to it. It was a really great train ride. But real talk, basically since 2020, the Red Line has gotten dramatically worse with enforcing rules and, just being decent. And it's not like the Red Line was always great before this, but it's gotten really bad in the last couple of years, to where I usually have to switch 1 car because someone's smoking on it, but I've never had 3 in a row. I thought it was great that I got to capture it for the vlog. But really, all I'm asking for is some common courtesy, people, which means don't smoke on the train. Anyways, the brown line arrived, and I was so relieved to breathe in some fresh train air that didn't have smoke in it, and I got to squeeze in just a little bit more work. And here I am, stopped on the Chicago River for about 30 seconds before we headed to my final stop. I hopped off the brown line after what was truly an adventurous commute and started walking to the building. I actually work in the Sears/Willis Tower, which was renovated in the last couple of years, so it's actually pretty cool down here. They've got a bunch of cafes and restaurants, so it's an easy place to meet people both in and outside of work. And it is a highly secure building, so I have to scan in and get through the little gates here, while normal people who don't work here have to go through security. And don't even get me started on all of the tourists. Okay, anyways, after a nice long elevator ride up to the 66th floor, I then switch elevator bays to the other one, passing by this pretty sweet view while I'm going to it, and then I make my way up to the 80th floor, which is where my office is. I can't show you too much of the office because of super secret law firm reasons, but here's the break room where I drop off my lunch. Yes, I do pack a lunch. And the room also has this machine that lets you get coffee or hot chocolate and a bunch of other drinks, which is pretty cool, though I prefer to stick to old H2O myself. But here's my setup. Once I get to my office space, you have this little sort of docking station for your laptop, which is one that the firm issues to everyone, which is hooked up to a nice dual monitor setup with nice big monitors and like a movable arm thing. I also have my law degree and my law license for the state of Illinois, just in case I forget that I'm an attorney. Oh, and I have a chair for visitors. And here are some views from the 80th floor, although my office is in the middle of the floor, so I don't have a direct window view. However, all of the offices have clear glass on one side, so I can actually see all the way through to the outside, at least on days when we're not engulfed in clouds, which can get kind of trippy. It's about 10:45 a.m. at this point, and the office is quite empty today, which is not always the case, mainly because we're on a hybrid schedule, so everyone comes in usually a couple days per week and then spends the rest at home. And there weren't any special events today which would bring more people into the office. Anywho, from about 10:45 a.m. until about 12:45 or so, I get a couple more billables in, and then it's time for lunch.
And lunch is usually, you know, something cool.
Actually, I did not opt for a European lunch and instead went for some leftover tacos, which my beautiful wife had cooked the day before. I then take said lunch over to the elevator bay and head on down to the 66th floor once again. And I post up there actually on the 67th floor because it's a 2-floor sort of common area that other people in the building also use. So we're on the 67th floor right now. It's a big lounge up here. I've actually filmed from here before. I did a Q&A video a while back, so check that out if you're interested. But here's kind of the setup I like to do. I'll have my lunch. It's like a little stand for my phone if I watch it. And yes, I am eating on a AC heater thing, just because I like sitting up next to the window. But there's sometimes tables available, but often they're being used during lunch hour. But anyways, it's kind of nice up here. If I'm not getting lunch with someone, I'll usually just come down here and usually watch videos or send some emails, like personal emails rather than work emails. But otherwise, it's a pretty nice space, so it's a pretty good spot for lunch. At least when you bring your own lunch, which I do pretty much all the time. Anyways, let's tuck in. After demolishing those tacos, I then take a ride back up to the 80th floor before getting right back to work. By now, it's something like 1:30. But a short while later, I decide it's time to kick my standing desk into maximum overdrive. I continue to work both inside and outside of maximum overdrive until about 4:30 or so when I decide to get going. I make my way down both elevator bays and go through the gates at the bottom floor. Okay, this time I'm gonna take the purple line, which smells a lot better than the red line. Probably one of the better smelling trains in the entire system. So I'll be taking that up to the red line, and I'll switch over and take the last leg home. So let's see how that goes. After this morning's excellent performance by the red line, with 3 cars in a row with people lighting up cigarettes, which was just lovely. All right, let's go. Like I said, the purple line is quite a bit more pleasant than the red line, but I can really only take it home because it doesn't actually stop at the place near my house. So I take the purple line home as far as I can until I have to switch over. During that time, I either read or do some more work on my laptop. In this case, I did do a little bit more work until I have to get off the purple line and make my way back onto the ever-coveted red line. The train did smell, but there were no active smokers at the time, which was a huge plus. At about 5:30, I hop off the train and I make it home to my smiling wife, who has some pizza freshly made and ready to go, and I'm so excited. We smash the pizza, and then a mobile notary comes over because we actually have to sign our loan docs and closing docs for tomorrow's closing for a house we were buying and eventually did buy in Houston. And yes, that's Houston, Texas. We are making the move pretty soon, so I'll be documenting that journey for sure. I am staying with the same law firm though, so maybe I'll have another day in the life in the new office in the near future. By the time my wife and I finished signing everything, it was something like 7:30, and we decided to go for a walk out to the beach. Thankfully, it was a really nice day out. By about 8:15, I got back on my computer and did some more billables and also some housekeeping things, especially with this Houston property, and by then it was getting pretty late, so it was time to wrap up. Alright, it's about 10:30 now. I spent some time looking at quotes for the work we're going to be doing on the Houston house, which we'll close on tomorrow, which is fun. And I should be getting to bed right about now. Ended up billing something like 7 hours today, which is a decent day, a pretty full day of billables, all things considered, since I had quite a few other things to do today, mainly the document signings for closing. But ideally, you guys enjoyed the video, so if you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all that great stuff, and let me know if you have any questions about working in big law or anything with my legal career or how to become an attorney or what it's like being an attorney, all that stuff. Definitely let me know, and I'll try to do some more content about it in the future. You can also check out my other videos that I've already done on those topics. But it's bedtime, so until next time, take care and stay safe when using transit.